Mafia Magazine Radio.
This is Cordula.
Hey, how you doing, Cordula?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay, baby. Hold on for a second. Let me set you up real quick, all right?
No problem.
For all my listeners out there, I get the opportunity to sit down with an incredibly talented singer and songwriter, along with being a very beautiful artist and entertainer, and she goes by the name of Cordula. And we're going to sit down with Cordula for a little while, and she's going to let us know all the things that it takes for her to get her music out to the world. So, Cordula, baby, how the industry treating you these days?
Pretty good, pretty good. I can't complain.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. So tell me, where you originally from, and how long you actually been doing the things you've been doing?
So originally, I'm from Severn, Maryland. So shout out to everybody in the DMV. And currently, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. So I'm, have been transformed into a Southern girl. But I have been doing music for a long time. I've been singing and dancing since I was 3 and 4. That's when I started taking lessons, and really I've been in the industry for about a year now, kind of publicly just trying to push my music and find my voice and my sound. So that's what I've been doing recently.
Okay, so I read a little bit of your history, you know what I'm saying? So I would kind of take this real slow, step by step with you, because you got so much history, you know. But one of the first things I want to know is who was your inspiration? Like, what inspired you to make you say to yourself, I want to do this, and not only can I do this, but I can do this exceptionally well?
Mm-hmm. I think it was something that I wanted to do ever since I can remember. I know as far back as I can remember, I was 3 or 4 watching Soul Train in front of the TV and just, loving the dance and the lights, camera action, that whole thing. And I think back then my biggest inspiration were people like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Cher, Tina Turner, like those big artists with big personalities. And, I just looked at them and I was so inspired by them and what they did. And it's kind of been in my blood ever since. I think pretty much everybody in my family is musical in some way,
right,
shape, or form. And my mom got me a Fisher-Price kit with a microphone when I was like 4 for Christmas. And ever since then, I've been doing my thing and just trying to continue to grow as an artist and as a musician.
Absolutely. And so is, that's a good segue into you talking about how your mom got you the Fisher-Price thing, you know what I'm saying? And you started kind of doing like music and playing instruments, and what was one of your favorite instruments that you was playing back then when you actually started, or what did you think that you was going to turn out to be as life went on?
So my favorite instrument is the piano, and so that's kind of like what I started out on, and learning classical and reading music, and I just looking back at a lot of the musicians back then. I mean, that was the instrument. I kind of always wanted to play the saxophone, but that never happened. So maybe one day I'll pick that up.
No doubt.
I haven't yet.
Yeah, I always wanted to play the alto sax myself too, so I know what that means.
It's a sexy instrument.
Yeah. And the sound that you can make with it, that you can do wonders with the world. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So give us a little bit of your, you was in choirs, and you was in, some little bit of your religious background, and some of the choirs that you was in, and we're gonna talk about where that has took you today, you know what I'm saying, on being up and coming up in the church or singing in choirs and so forth and so on. How do you think that has enhanced what you're doing today?
Absolutely. So actually, I come from a biracial parenthood. So my mom is Caucasian and my dad is Black. So initially I kind of grew up in the white church, in the Lutheran church, Presbyterian. And so it's a very different style of music. But I still, at that time, was in church and singing that style of music, which is kind of more of like a chamber music. But then, I'd see the TV and see the gospel and the church choirs in the Black communities, getting down. And I was like, man, I want to go to that church, And so I kind of changed over and started going to, more Black churches,
right,
around elementary, middle school. And, there I got a different set of training, and, around that time started taking, some jazz, vocal training, and, learning how to, do, different riffs and things like that. And so, I think that played a big role in, just kind of who I am as an artist and what I'm able to do vocally. I just have a really, I think, diverse training that I've had, and I continue that on into college and doing, choir and gospel choir and singing on praise team and, leading praise team in churches and things like that, and I continue that now. So I think it's very important to set up a good foundation.
Right. where did you pick up your songwriting skills from? Because that's really rare. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of artists, I mean, even though they can write raps or they can write music, a lot of people don't really know nothing about really writing songs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
Right. And there's a difference, because for those that haven't been in the industry, don't really understand that. They think because they can sit down, they can write 8 bars or 16 bars, they got them a song.
You're right. And so I think a lot of people don't even realize the difference between artists that write and artists that don't write. It's a huge benefit to be a writer. And if I think back, I've always been really good at creative writing. I mean, just regular writing. And I kind of came upon songwriting because in elementary school, my choir teacher was like, "Oh, do you want to help write the school song?" And I was like, "Sure." And so I helped her do that, and then kind of through that realized, okay, I can write, you know, and
right.
So melody comes very easy to me, you know, through creative writing. You know, I'm able to write lyrics, and it's a growing process. You know, I think that that's something I still need to continue to work on, and I work with other people and collaborate with other people when I write, but it's just kind of something I discovered along the way. So.
Right. Right.
But you have to nurture it like any other skill.
No doubt. So are you writing songs now across the board? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you know, there's a certain, I guess, genre of music that you do, but do you write songs across the board, whether it be gospel, whether it be neo-soul, whether it be hip-hop? I mean, you know, give us a little insight on what it takes when you sit down and you put your thoughts together to get you a song in.
I think I can do across the board. I have done some gospel, but mostly it's for me and not necessarily for other artists. You know, when I do write for other artists, it tends to be R&B or a hook on a hip-hop, you know, like for a rapper, or, you know, definitely neo-soul is something that's easy for me to write. That's kind of what I started out singing when I, you know, was singing. So, yeah, I kind of do a little bit of everything. You know, certain things do come easier. R&B, kind of pop, you know, those things come easier, but I enjoy writing all different genres of music.
Right. How did we get to hip hop? You know, I'm looking at your history. I'm looking at all the things you've done and how accomplished you are in different things, and I'm saying to myself, okay, so how do we get to hip hop? You know, I already know that because, you know, I've been in the game a little while. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't for me to tell a story. I want you to tell a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love hip hop? I mean, like, it's to me, it's one of the most honest, you know, genres of music, you know, that there is. I mean, the birth of hip hop, I think, has come a long way. Initially, you know, if you follow the history of it, it came out and people thought it wasn't going to last, you know, and now it's one of the most popular genres of music there is.
No
and
doubt.
I mean, the beat, I mean, you can't deny that, you know what I'm saying? And so I love to dance, you know, I like to get down and go in a club and do all that too. So I think that, you know, it's something that is a part of our culture and part of everybody's culture now, really,
right.
Honestly. So
absolutely.
Nobody can really deny hip hop. So I think that, you know, for me, you know, it's just a reality of it's a part of music. So
right.
Yeah.
So I got a question though, something that's been on my mind. I'm curious, where did you get your moniker from? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where did your name come from of who you are? My name's
Cordula.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I don't think many people have asked me that, but it's a German name actually.
Okay.
My dad gave me that name, and my mom thinks it's somebody he knew before he met her when he was in Germany years and years ago. I have no idea, but that's neither here nor there. But it has a couple different translations, and one of the translations is heart, and the other one is jewel of the sea. So actually, if people if you see me perform, I actually throw up a heart sign. So that, you know, is what my name means. It means heart. And it kind of goes along with my whole giving back and healing and music therapy kind of thing. So
right, because it was a name that I had never heard before, and it took me, I kid you not, 4 or 5 days or something to be able to remember the name.
You're not the only one.
And be able to lock it in, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? I do this all the time. And do I got dementia coming on? I'm saying, what's really happening? No doubt. So tell me how, you know, what made you want to put together your studio? Because I also understand that, you know what I'm saying, through the different things that you're doing, and we're gonna get into some of that also, some of the stuff that you also do to give back. What made you put your studio together? You know, you know, everybody at some point say, I want to do this. I want a studio. And, you know, how did you do that? I mean, what made you want to do that?
Well, about 5 or 6 years ago, I started songwriting for other artists and, you know, meeting people and going to different studios, and then decided, you know, I wanted to work on my own music and find who I was as an artist and to find my voice. And it was really hard and expensive to have to go to other studios and find an engineer and then get it mixed and then get it mastered. And, you know, I think a lot of people don't realize all that goes into making a song. And so piece by piece, you know, I would acquire different equipment. You know, I would, you know, save up some money and get the, you know, the standard microphones in the industry. Then I would, you know, get a good set of monitors and then the computer, and like, you know, piece by piece, I just ended up, you know, building a studio that, you know, now I actually is good enough, and where I, you know, that's where I record, and that's where, you know, I make my music. And, you know, if I need to, I bring in other engineers, but I am able to engineer myself. So I just send it out and get it mixed and mastered. But sometimes you just have to do things. You have to learn how to do things on your own when you're an independent artist. And yeah, I mean, you just got to roll with it.
No doubt about that. So where you derive your material from? I mean, everybody has, you know, is it all about life experiences with you? Is it, you know, is there certain things you may see or watch, and all of a sudden you decide, I can build a song from that particular thing that I've seen or that experience that I've been through?
I think a lot of different things. Of course, I think all writers try to derive some truth from something that they've been through or past experiences. But I think for me, some of it is fantasy. I mean, you know, like I may have looked on a situation and think, you know, well, I wish it could have been this. You know, I'm gonna write a song as if it was. I mean, you know, sometimes things don't happen the way we want them to, and you know, writing is an opportunity to live in a fantasy world. You know, and people listen to music for fantasy. You know what I'm saying? So like, some of it is real and some of it is not. So, but I think everything has some truth in it. But sometimes you just have to get a message out, and you know, whether you've experienced or not, I mean, you still have to, you know, draw on that from somewhere. But you know, I'll watch TV, I'll read magazines, I'll have a conversation, and I'll be like, oh, that's a great topic. You know, that's a great song idea. Right. So, and I just kind of take notes throughout the day, like on my phone, my iPhone, or whatever, and I'll just jot down things and kind of go back to that when I get to writing mode. So
no doubt. Okay, you